Hey, welcome back to Iconic, the podcast with myself, Lynda Stretton. I'm a transformational healer, a new paradigm spiritual business coach, and a marketing consultant to forward-thinking brands. And today, what I've decided to do is I ran a couple of masterclasses this week on attracting your soul-aligned clients. And I talk a lot about how working with soul-aligned clients is different to working with clients. Just working with clients, any client, can leave us feeling burnt out, and it can feel heavy and all the different things. When we're really working with our soul-aligned clients, everything feels lighter, easier, and it's just so much more joyous to work with. And in the masterclass, I talked about how we can have different soul-aligned clients for different offers. So it's not like we only work with one type of person. Really high touch one-to-one can be very different to who turns up to a small intimate group container versus who's in a large container. But there's different principles that I teach for attracting in your soul-aligned clients, like with ease. So it's not a forceful thing. It's just like calling in, magnetizing these people into you. And in this masterclass, I share lots of different things, but part of what I share in this is 10 different ways we can attract in our soul-aligned clients, like 10 steps, if you would. So I thought what I'd do is give you a little taster for the conversations we're having in there. And I've just basically in this podcast pulled out the first 2 things that I touch on. Obviously, there's 8 more steps after that we speak into. A lot of it's very much based around energetics, which is something that I'm super passionate about, as well as some strategy and mindset and all that different things. And then I talk about, I'm just trying to think what else I left it at. There's a couple of other little clips. There's some journaling prompts that I speak through in terms of like getting clear on your soul line clients. So yeah, I've pulled out some tiny little clips from the masterclass. The masterclass is itself 80 minutes long. So this will give you like a little clip. And then if you love it, or if you just want to dive in anyway, I've popped the link to sign up to watch the free replay with instant access in the show notes. And yeah, I hope you absolutely love it. So yeah, it's like little bits edited together. So apologies if the flow doesn't make sense towards the end. It's just so that I could put little subjects in and I cut off at appropriate stages. So yeah, enjoy this little insider access to the masterclass. And like I say, if you want to sign up and access the whole thing, it's completely free. And it's super, super, super valuable. I'm getting incredible feedback from it, both from people that came in the live sessions and then people who've watched the replay. So I do really recommend it. It's 80 minutes. So get yourself comfy, grab yourself a hot drink if you are going to watch it. And if not, enjoy this episode and I'll see you back here next week. So your first one is get clear on your why and your mission. And I've said, let desire lead the way. How will you impact your clients, their families, and friends, the collective? Okay, so get clear on your why and your mission. The reason why I say this is because to get you through the tough times in business, and they're going to come, you need to be super, super, super connected to your why. To enjoy the work that you do, you need to be super connected to your why. To create content, you need to be super connected to your why and your mission. It's basically at the heart of everything. If you are running a business that's not aligned with a really strong why and the mission that you have in the world, everything is going to feel heavy. Everything's going to feel hard. And it's going to start to repel people because you're not in alignment with, you're not teaching in alignment with what you're passionate about. Does that make sense? So let me give an example of this. So I launched my business and my very first post says something along the lines of, I'm here to help high achieving women have it all. And then I go on to talk about, because I really believe that we can, but only if we've got our health. And when we're like sick and we're coming from that burnt out stage, like we're not showing up as our best self in our relationships, we're not showing up our best self at work, we're going to be tired, all those different things. And I think I've archived that post now, by the way, but yeah, that was basically it. And this is what I launched for. It was like really helping high achieving women. I used to have the tagline, maintain your health through the hustle, which is hilarious now because I'm just like so not about hustle lifestyle. But like at the time, I like really identified, like, I'm a hustler. I'm such a hard worker. Maintain your health through it. But yeah, now I definitely don't do hustle. I'm all about feminine and energetics. But this is basically who I wanted to go after. And then I did this online program, and I got a 30-minute consult with the person running it, who was a business coach. And she was just like, Lynda, like, I get it, but why aren't you like working in fertility? Because that's your story. And it's like, well, it's not really my story. And it's like, well, yeah, because like you didn't have a baby, and then like you didn't have a menstrual cycle, and you brought your cycle back, and then you fell pregnant, and you having a baby made you launch your business. And that makes sense. You can tell that story. But really, what made me launch my business was far more about wanting like this different lifestyle, this work-life balance. So I could be present with my child, and creating a life where I wasn't feeling I had to work 24/7 to be valuable, to recognize, obviously, as I moved on, it's like recognizing my projector. I'm here to be paid for what I see and what I do. So like helping people get to places faster is a big part of what I'm here for, and all these different things. And so, yeah, it was like, I didn't launch a business for fertility. I really launched a business to help like burnt out, high achieving women. So I ran a business focusing on fertility. I didn't just work with fertility people. I also got many other people come through who just had like gut challenges and hormone challenges and all different things. But my group program was a fertility program. And I'm so grateful for every single one of those clients that I got to help have babies. I've got a WhatsApp chat with all these like pregnant and new mums, and like, it's amazing. But like my why wasn't strong enough. So like on the days when I'm like, oh, I need to post, I like had that, I need to post an Instagram today. And then I'd be like, okay, I should talk about IVF. And I haven't been through IVF myself. Like we had really, once I got my health back, we had super easy natural pregnancies. So yeah, there was a misalignment, and I was just burnt out. I was burnt out from it. So let desire lead the way. Like, what is it you truly desire to help people with? Like, what is your mission? What are you on a mission for? I was talking about my client in Vox a couple of days ago, actually, because she was saying like, how do you feel about the I help statements? And I was like, what I really feel is like talking about your mission that you're here for. Like, what is your mission? What mission are you on? And then really connecting with like the vastness of what you change in the world through how you help people. So how will it impact your clients? Well, that's easy, like, because you know, but how will then that change in your client impact their families? And how will that change in your client impact their friends? And then how will that all impact the collective, and keep going bigger and bigger and bigger? So for example, you know, when I was doing fertility, I wasn't just helping someone have a baby after trying for 5 years and having loads of rounds of failed IVF. It's like, it works this time. Like, it wasn't, oh, it's a full and pregnant, oh, and now I've had a baby. It was like, I was helping them birth the next leader that was going to help create world peace. Like, these are the stories I had in my head. It's like, I'm going to like complete, because the people I'm calling in are obviously like people that are interested in holistic therapies in my head are like good people who like care about the planet and all this kind of stuff. So then they're going to raise these really like incredible children that care about the planet and believe in holistic health and all the different things. So yeah, keep dreaming bigger. So now I'm helping women like create these businesses without burning out. Well, not only am I helping them create epic wealth without losing their health, which is one of the things I say, it's like create this wild abundance with ease and flow. I'm helping improve their sex life, because when they're not like tired and burnt out, when they've not like got low self-worth and like don't want their partner to see their bodies and like want, you know, sex with the lights off, or if they even have it, like I'm helping them with that. I'm helping them like they're then showing up, they're launching their businesses, they're showing up and then creating those people's lives that they're helping, and then those people's lives that those people help, and beyond and beyond and beyond. And it's this never-ending thing. So multiple layers to that. But yeah, really think about what are your unique gifts that you can then help people with to serve your mission and your why as well. That's another thing. Sorry, just going for tangent. So yeah, that's the first one. The next one is embodiment. So I've written that there, or that I teach I am, because this came through in meditation in around March time. It was like just right feeling into, should I do this pivot? Should I not do this pivot? And I was at meditation, the words came, all that I teach I am. And this was like such, I know it's just like why does that mean anything? But this was such a transformational moment for me, because what I realized is so much of what I was having to teach, it's bad language, isn't it? Teaching my fertility clients, I wasn't doing myself, because I wasn't at that place in my life, nor had I ever been at that place in my life. Like, I had hypothalamic amenorrhea from being a burnt out workaholic who didn't sleep enough, got up at ridiculous o'clock to do a 20k run. I used to have this like 100k a week target. So I used to like get up and like try and fit in as far as I could before work. So like I said, got up at 4:45, had a coffee, jumped on that running machine at 5 o'clock, ran as far as I possibly could in the time I had available that day, because it changed whether I was like going to London or whether I was in Manchester or whatever. And then the end of the week, I could like sometimes have like only manage, 50k, only manage 50k in the week. And I'd like get up and like before breakfast, get on my running machine and do a 25k run on a Saturday and 25k run on a Sunday. Like, I was literally that bad. And a lot of it just came from low self-worth. It was like, who am I if I'm not hitting these targets? And who am I if I'm not skinny? And all these different things. So I can't remember how I got into that subject, so apologies for that. But yeah, I'm an embodiment teacher. So I wasn't at that place that the people in fertility journeys were, and I wasn't like doing all the things I was telling them to do, because I didn't need to, because my health was in a really good place. And once you get to your health to a really good place, it takes less to manage it. Like, I'm having to tell them to have their 3 fist-size portions of cruciferous vegetables with their lunch and their dinner, and having different things every day for breakfast, variety, all these different things. And I take my supplements and I eat good food. I also have cake multiple times a week. Last night, I went out and had a burger, then I had bread and butter pudding with custard, and I had a glass of red wine after having XYZ in the day. Like, I wasn't in the same place. However, now, like, using my breath work, working on my mindset, using all the tools that I use my NLP, like working with astrology and human design and seeing what's going on in my own life at this time, and aligning like my branding with my astrology, like my launches with all the different things, like all of this stuff is so aligned. And obviously, running my own business and helping other women run their business, it's so aligned, and it's easy for me to teach it because I embody it. And when we're embodying it, so I've written, your life is the expression of your work. Like, when you are living the life that your work teaches, you're naturally going to magnetize people into you, even if you're not showing everything on camera. I barely show anything on camera. I'm absolutely terrible at using stories. I know I should use them more. I don't really show behind the scenes, and I know I should, but people can feel it anyway. They can feel that authenticity in you. So that would be my second one. Like, so what is it? So you've got your mission, you've got your why, you've got your mission, but then what specific tools are you going to use, and how are you going to help people based on how you're living your life? Like, what's authentic? What unique gifts do you have that you embody yourself? Not just like, oh, I know this, so I can teach it. It's like, but do you do it? Do you do it? Are you fully embodying this? If you're not, do what you're passionate about. Do what look at what books are on your bookshelf. Like, what are you interested in learning about? Like, what do you spend all your money on? And teach that, because that's the stuff you're passionate about. Obviously, if it helps your mission, your message. Just before we wrap up, I am going to take through a quick meditation to connect with your soul line clients, but this is something that you can do after this session in your own time, is journal on some of these things to really then start to think about, okay, who is my ideal client? But something I didn't say on Wednesday's masterclass that I wanted to make sure I said today is, think of your client more about their energy and their values and the transformation they want to get than demographic. So rather than, my ideal client is between 25 and 27, and she reads X magazine, and she goes on Y social media platforms, and she likes Z TV show and XYZ, which again, people teach. I was chatting to my client the other weekend about this because she did this. So I was like, who talked to me about who this person is, and that's exactly what she did to me. And I was saying to her, the transformation you are getting to someone is just as relevant for me as a 41-year-old as it would be for somebody else as a 25-year-old. Because if I haven't healed that thing that you are helping people through, and it's all from like childhood trauma stuff, like if I haven't healed it, I can be your ideal client. So don't rule out me. When we're talking to an energy and values and that those aligned things with us, our soul aligned clients find us. There are 60-year-olds who don't use Instagram, and there are 60-year-olds that do use Instagram. So saying that people of a certain, and I'm sort of saying that as if Instagram is your main channel. So don't be like, oh, these people are 8. I've got plenty of people like 50, 60 in my audience as well. And, you know, I could just as easily work with someone who is 25, 26, been in the corporate world for like 5, 6 years, absolutely hating it, burn themselves out, really wants to launch their own business, as someone who's like 65, been married a whole life, has never worked because they've survived on their partner. And suddenly she's got this new lease of life because she's on her own. And she's been doing yoga as like a bit of a hobby, and suddenly she wants to launch a yoga business. She doesn't know where to start because she's never done anything, and she's got this imposter syndrome and low self-worth, and she really wants support. I could just as easily work with that 65-year-old and the 25-year-old. It's about like, you know, are they spiritual? Are they open to like manifestation? Are they open to hearing about astrology and human design? Are they open to like working with feminine energetics as well as like the masculine structure? Like, are they open to those kind of things that I like to teach, rather than it being an age? You know, obviously when I was in the fertility world, that's a little bit different because it's more of a restricted age. But I was absolutely convinced that my clients would be like late 30s, early 40s, because I'd had children at like 37, 38 and 40, 41-ish. And I just thought I would attract in people who'd decided to like put their career first and then have children later in life, for example. And the vast majority were like early 30s, like early 30s, like people I was just like, oh, you're so young, why are you worried about running out of time? Like, it's crazy. But you know, I didn't realize that people were struggling that young. So yeah, don't like shut stuff down based on ages. So journaling your own time. Where are they now? How is it that they're struggling? How is what they are struggling with impacting their life? And I say, think big. I mean, keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, like as bad as it gets. Like, what is this thing, and how much is it ruining their life right now? And then where do you want to get them to, and how will it change their life? And think big, you know, like how incredible is their life impacted? How is their life impacted? Their friends' life impacted? Their partner's life? Their family's life? The collective's life? How? Just think big. Then what kicked off their current challenges? So, you know, sorry, I'm going back to childhood. So yeah, so all of these things usually start off in childhood. So it may not be, but for example, low self-worth in my world, it'd be like childhood trauma stuff. So things that like went on with like becoming a workaholic because I was only getting recognition and reward from my parents when I was seen to be working hard and doing well at school. So then I became this academic, high achieving person, and you know, had to get the first class degree, had to get the A's in the A level, had to do all the different things. Always like defined my success and my self-worth from what I was doing, not who I'd be. And then what do they desire support with, and how do you help them? How do they show up in your container? So what sort of person do you really want? Do you want somebody who wants to send you 15-minute voxers, or do you want someone that sends you 2-minute voxers? I was talking about this. I love people who talk. Like, I'm a talker. So I want you to tell me everything that's going on in your life, and come and talk to me in those containers and really use them and talk to me. One of my mentors is like, 2 minutes. I want you to get to the point. Tell me in 2 minutes. I'm like, I couldn't do that, but you know, it's right for some people. So like, how do you want them to show up? Do you want them to like want to speak to you a lot? Do you just want them to turn up at their weekly calls and never get in touch with you between containers? Like, all of this there's no right or wrong. It's all about what's right for you. And who are they after they finish journeying with you? So take a photo, come back to this, journal on all the different things. Thank you so much for your patience. So I'm going to take you through a quick meditation where we'll connect with your soul aligned clients. Obviously, you can do a longer version in your own time, but yeah, just a quick one just to tap you into them. And if you have like resonated with some of this and you're like, oh, I feel like I am your soul aligned client, Lynda, like I really, really want to explore working with you because I love being in your energy, I love your values and love all the different things, then please do reach out. Just find me in the different places, jump on Instagram. If you've got this, you'll have had an email from me. Hit reply to one of the emails because I read all of the emails that come back to that email address. So hit reply to one of those emails and I'll get back to you kind of within 48, 72 hours. And yeah, DM me on Instagram and we can chat. I can tell you the different ways I can support you and when my availability is, because obviously at this time of recording, I don't know what'll be going on. So yeah, where my availability is and when I can support you and all the different things. With all that said, I'm going to take you through a connection. I hope that felt really transformational. I hope you started to like see the enormity of the change that you'll have, and I hope it like made you feel more connected with the soul aligned client that you want to bring in after thinking about really what your mission and your purpose is. So rather than coming from logical mind about what could make money or what you think people need help with, like what you really desire to help people with, I think is really important.